This is the Steel Toes and Scoreboards podcast. Here's Jared Atkin.
Whoa.
What's up, Puss?
Playing a little Madden.
Playing a little Madden? I was playing a little MLB 2013 a little bit ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I need to get a new baseball game.
I got 24 Madden.
Look at you.
I picked up a racing game, too. I like racing. NASCAR Heat, something like that.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I like the racing. That's a lot of fun, too. Of course, I'm a Steelers right now.
Hey, it's draft night.
Yeah, I know. I don't know where we're sitting at exactly in the pick. Somewhere in the middle, I think.
Well, I only took down a couple of notes because I didn't know what to expect. But so I got some Steelers news for you.
Okay.
Apparently, they are not expected to pick up Justin Fields' $25 million fifth-year option.
So what are they going to do?
I don't know. I guess they'll keep him for a year, and then they'll get rid of him or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're up to in Pittsburgh.
Well, the Bears are picking. The Bears are picking first in the draft.
All right.
More than likely, they'll take that quarterback from Southern California.
Right.
That really talented Williams kid. Okay. Well, their former 2021 first-round pick, Justin Fields, as you know, he was traded to the Steelers last month for I want to point this out. It was a sixth-round pick.
Yeah.
Sixth-round pick.
Yeah.
This is a former top 5 overall pick. You know, he was. Anyways, but I guess they're not expected to pick up the option, which you called it. You said it would probably be Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Hey, I wouldn't be upset about that.
No, I don't know. He's at the end of his career, though.
Well, I mean,
he's not in his prime.
Fucking Tom Brady was at the end of his career, and look what he kept doing.
Well, look all the help he had. Good night.
Well, I mean, it helps
when freaking officiating. Had the ball boys in on it. Good night.
It helps when you got the zebras in your pocket, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And he got paying the ball boys. Inflate or deflate, I should say, all the balls.
I
can't believe they didn't get no trouble over that. They were called red-handed, dude.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to point out, as an Indianapolis Colts fan, I want to point out there was no way we were going to win that AFC title game.
No, but I mean,
deflated balls or not, we weren't going to win that game. It wasn't going to make a difference.
No, but it is just I don't know. Hey, I mean, what if the announcers Phil Simms pointed it out. He thought the ball was traveling funny through the air.
Oh, Phil Simms. He was a New York Giant.
Giant, yeah. He's a Super Bowl champion.
A Super Bowl champion, Phil Simms.
Yeah, with the Lawrence Taylor was a beast, dude.
Lawrence Taylor, I fully believe Lawrence Taylor was high on cocaine many times he was on the field.
Yeah, probably. He was snorting the lines going across the field, yes.
For those that don't know, Kurt Kelly does a tremendous Darryl Strawberry impersonation. And Doc Good. You want to go ahead, give me your impersonation.
There's a base rip into right field by Strawberry. Oh, wait a minute. He's dropping to his knees. He's snorting his way to first. He's not stopping there, folks. He's snorting his way to second. Yeah, well, I mean,
I have missed doing this show with you.
But Darryl Strawberry was pretty dang good, but he's all coked out of his head.
One of your favorite stories, Doc Ellis, the no hitter on acid or LSD or whatever it was.
Hired a motherfucker. Yeah.
He said, what did he say? He goes, I didn't know what was going on. He goes, I thought I saw dragons up there in the batter's box or whatever he said.
Yeah, some weird shit, But I mean,
they couldn't do that nowadays. You can't get away with that nowadays.
No, no, they test for everything, I think.
But getting back to the Steelers here for a second, I mean, Mike Tomlin came out.
Gotta go.
Well, he came out and he gave the answer that you're supposed to give. He gave the answer you're supposed to give. Like, he's gonna get a chance to compete. Da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna get a chance to compete. Sure, but we all know Russell Wilson's the day one starter. You're not going to start. You're not going to start Fields over Wilson.
Well, I mean, I think it ought to be a competition right off the bat in practice.
I mean, it probably will be, but you don't sign a free agent
if he plays better than him. I don't know.
You don't sign You don't sign a former Super Bowl champion, a perennial Pro Bowler who is on the back end of his career, but you don't sign him and bring him in to make him a fucking backup.
Well, unless you to tutor Fields some, I don't know.
Well, he's going to need a lot of tutoring.
Yeah, I mean, there's some raw talent there, but I'm going to tell you right now, the IQ is not there, folks.
No.
You got to have a little bit of IQ to win a Super Bowl. I'll just tell you that, whether it's smart enough to cheat or whatever you got to do.
Football IQ is a real thing.
Yes, it is.
I
absolutely.
mean, IQ is a real thing. I know a lot of people don't think about that, but you hear him. He's got a high football IQ. He's got a high basketball IQ, high baseball IQ.
Right.
It's a real thing. It's an understanding of the game and where you need to be and what you need to do.
Larry Bird is the perfect example, and John Stockton would be a perfect example. Some NBA players. Let's say Peyton Manning would be a perfect example.
Peyton Manning's got one of the highest, if not the highest, football IQ ever.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're talking about there. They're the kind of guys that they do all the intangibles, That's what they're good at.
So what are you guys going to do?
Dennis Rodman.
Hey, ho, the worm.
I mean, he wasn't the best jumper, but he had a knack for knowing where the ball was going to go off the rim, and he beat you to it.
You know what else I like about Dennis Rodman?
What's that?
He would make guys cry. His trash talk, man. He was a psychology freak. He'd get in dude's head like.
But they say the white chocolate was the best trash talker.
White chocolate. Larry Bird is a savage. I mean, just a
trash talker.
Oh God, a savage.
I've seen many Laker guys giving interviews, and they'd be saying, "Well, Larry, he just tell you where he's going to go, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. He's going to go over the corner. He's going to go over and score 2 points or whatever. And ain't nothing you guys can do about it." And he'd go over and do it.
I like Larry Bird a lot.
He once told everybody he's going to score 40 points with his left hand and play left hand, and he scored 47 points that night, left-handed.
Here's the deal: in today's era, Larry Bird would be the guy we all hate.
Oh yeah, and he'd probably make a bunch of guys cry.
They would definitely need their safe spaces.
Yes.
Yeah. But hey, speaking of the Steelers, though, you guys got one other thing you got to tie up. What's the deal with Najee Harris?
I don't know. I haven't heard.
He's got a 5th-year option, and they have to make a deadline whether they're picking that option up by May 1st or May 2nd.
I mean, well, you never know. The Steelers might.
He's a former first-round pick too. He was 24th overall in 2020, 2021.
But from what I've seen, Jaylen Warren is just I don't know. I like Najee's power, and then Jaylen's Warren's escapability. But I mean, I don't know. He'd start anywhere else. I think Warren would.
Najee Harris, just he's a beast.
He's a beast. Yeah, he's got good IQ also.
Well, speaking.
I don't know what they're going to do. Who knows what Omar Khan's got?
Where are they picking at tonight?
That's what I don't know. I think somewhere in the middle, around 20 or
let's just
15
look at the mock draft for tonight. So the mock draft, according to ESPN, has Caleb Williams going 1 overall to Chicago via the trade with Carolina. Bitch, why isn't it not letting me read this article?
I figure we're going to draft wide receiver, to be honest with you, because we're kind of thin there, I think.
Yeah.
That's one of my thoughts. And we're always going to draft a linebacker somewhere.
It's not letting me read this article. You bitch.
But I'm thinking they'll pick a wide receiver first, in their first pick. Pretty thin at that spot.
Yeah. I was wanting to see the draft order for tonight. It's being a bitch. Well, we'll circle back to that in a minute.
Right.
My computer's being a hoe.
A hoe.
I miss doing this show.
Well, yeah.
I know we started it like here we go 5 weeks ago. We thought we were getting back into it.
Well,
and then we got together and then I want to know that I want you to know that you got a lot of love on social media last month.
That's what you were saying, yeah.
I posted something on our Steel Toes and Scoreboards Facebook page and on my personal page, and there was a lot of people out there talking about, they were sorry for your loss, and our mascot went to that big kennel in the sky.
Yeah, I still miss him. It's kind
of quiet around there now.
It sure is. Yeah. But I mean,
it was time.
Yeah, man, dude. I'll just be honest with you. It's probably one of the toughest things I've ever done.
You right there? Did they? I mean, he was happy. Did you take him to get ice cream or chocolate like I told you to?
He was too far gone to eat, man.
Wasn't even eating
anything. That tumor started bleeding.
I'm glad I came and seen him.
He couldn't stand up anymore,
I'm glad I came and seen him. I seen him 2 weeks before it happened. I'm glad I got to see him one last time.
Yeah, he was suffering. I mean, he was suffering, and he was hanging on for me,
Well, I want to point out, though, that how good of a boy he was. You said 3 years ago when we started this show that you thought it was about time, and he made it another 3 years. So
he was a good dog, man. I miss him pretty bad.
We're gonna start a Kirk Kelly GoFundMe to get a new puppy for you now.
I don't need no new dog.
We need a new mascot.
I wasn't looking for him when I got him. He just kind of happened along, and we was 15 years later. There we are.
I think we need to get you a bulldog.
That'd be pretty cool. Have a bulldog, I think.
Yeah, we'll get you a bulldog.
Pretty cool. But I don't know if I'll be ready for one of them or not. I don't know. I'm thinking. I'm all for rescue animals, but that's not me. I got to have him from a pup.
Yeah.
I kind of got to make him my dog.
Well, yeah.
Like
you got to raise him.
His mom. Yeah, I weaned him off his mom.
Oh,
first dry food. Yeah. Yeah, he was about as scared that night he was the other day when I had to take him in. He wouldn't even look at me all the way in there.
Maybe he
heartbreaking, dude.
Yeah.
But it went fast. The doc was real cool. So he said, "I get it." I said, "Well, I probably should have brought him in before now." He said, "No, I get it. It's harder than what you think."
All right, we're gonna go with CBS Sports because my computer's acting up. Let's see if we can see the draft order here. Nobody's listing the draft order. This is frustrating the shit out of me. All I want to know is where the Steelers are picking for you.
Well, I mean, we finished. We didn't make the playoffs.
I don't know.
12, 13, 14. I'm not really sure.
Well, this is exciting. Here we get together for the first time in forever, and let's see the draft order. And
the computer flopping.
Yeah, we're having technical difficulties. This is where Kurt goes. Whoosh.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Here's the draft order. Let's see. The Steelers are picking 20th overall.
Okay. I like sure.
20th overall. The Indianapolis Colts are selecting 15th overall.
What do you guys need? Secondary help?
You could do secondary help. I could also like to see some more offensive line help so we can protect that franchise quarterback that we just drafted last year.
Right. Yeah, you didn't really get to see what he could do. He got hurt.
Yeah. I mean, and he's a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, I think he is. But what I've seen of him, he's big, he's mobile. We'll see if he's got the moxie.
Good word, my man. Moxie. Look at Kurt Kelly with the big brain on him.
Moxie, yes. That quarterback has got to have some.
So, you and I are, I like to say we're old school, we're traditionalists.
Yeah.
Some people might say we're idiots, which we are.
Well,
some people might say we're idiots because we don't like change. I'm not a big proponent of change, and here's where I'm going.
Me neither.
Here's where I'm going with this. The Chicago Bears. I can't believe we're talking about the Bears. They unveil a $5 billion proposal for a new domed lakefront stadium.
No.
And I'm shutting this down already because it don't matter if you're a Bears fan or not. Soldier Field is hallowed grounds.
Hallowed ground.
You play outside in cold-ass Chicago weather. You don't...
In the elements, yeah.
You don't. That's right. Like somebody taking a Lambeau and tearing it down and building the field. Whether you love the Packers or not, you play football at Lambeau. You don't build a new stadium or you don't dome Lambeau.
I'm sorry. I'm not for any dome football game stadiums. To be honest,
I mean they're cool. They're cool for other events because if it rains,
to be played in the elements.
There you go. It ain't like baseball, which I love. We love baseball, but baseball players are pansies. They don't want to play in the elements. Football, you play in the elements.
Yes, that's part of the battle. Is you got to battle the other team and sometimes the elements.
That's part of what makes it good when you've got a pouring down thunderstorm and you've got a wet football. That's what makes a true athlete if he can deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of things going on here. Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
No, I'm out.
So I'm looking at the conceptualized drawings of it and everything. It's a nice looking. I will give them this. I will give them this. The conceptualized mock-ups of it is fucking phenomenal. It is a beautiful stadium. It's one of those curved and circular stadiums like so many of the new stadiums are.
Well, hey, I got something for you. How about they make their own weather inside the stadium, huh? They know how to do it everywhere else, huh?
Oh, God.
Yeah, we're getting somewhere.
I bet you're one of the guys that you looked up at the solar eclipse and you didn't even have glasses on, did you?
Fuck, I didn't even watch that stupid thing, dude. I was sleeping.
At 4:00 in the afternoon, you were sleeping?
Put me to sleep. It got dark and I went to bed, yep.
Oh, God. I bet you some of them welding guys... Did they let you guys off work for the eclipse?
Oh, yeah, we was off, yeah.
They gave you the whole day off or they let you leave at noon?
I took the whole day off. I mean, I think they gave everybody half a day off. Yeah, but I was off all day.
My co-host, Kurt Kelly, everybody. Gotta love him.
Well, I've read some weird shit about that eclipse, so I don't know.
I'll send you a picture of the conceptualized stadium art.
All right.
But here's what they're saying, because in my head, I'm wondering what's going to happen with Soldier Field. So let's look at this.
Oh, they'll probably destroyed.
Well, you can't, though. That's hallowed grounds.
Well, I mean, out with the old, in with the new.
The plans call for $3.2 billion, that's with a B, for a new stadium, plus an extra $1.5 billion in infrastructure.
Well, I'll just tell you this much: you better hope the fucking Bears start winning if you're going to pay for something like that. Come on now, right?
Let's see what else they have to say about this here.
Good grief.
The team said last month it was prepared to provide more than $2 billion in funding toward a publicly owned stadium in the city, which I guess that means investors in the city itself would pay for the other part of it, I guess. Here we go. The proposal calls for over $2 billion from the Bears, $300 million from the NFL loans, and $900 million in bonds from the Illinois Sports Facilities Authority. The funding would extend bonds of a hotel tax because this is supposed to have a hotel attached to it.
It's a lot of scratch beats over around there.
Yeah.
I mean, they better start winning hardcore.
Right here, listen. The new stadium would be constructed on a parking lot just south of Soldier Field, where the Bears have played since 1971. The team's lease at the 100-year stadium runs through 2033. The mayor of Chicago said that the project is in line with, he said there would be endorsements and no new tax hikes for Chicago residents. It's got a translucent roof with massive glass panels that would bring in sunlight and allowed for views of the skyline. The plan is to host major concerts, Super Bowls, Final Fours, Big Ten championship games.
Wow.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker said he was not on board with this project. He said he remains skeptical and wonder if it's a good idea for taxpayers.
Yeah, well, especially when the Bears suck.
Yeah, especially when they suck.
How they gonna pay for anything like that? Huh?
I don't know.
I'm just saying. I guess they're banking all on that quarterback, huh?
So I'm looking here, see if it says anything else good. So here's my thing. Like, I love that we're in an age of technology. The only people that hate technology are boomers like you and my dad or my grandparents. Yeah. But we are in an age of technology, and everything is so far technologically advanced, and everything is newer, it's bigger, and not necessarily better, but it's newer and it's bigger. I get these new multi-million-dollar stadiums, or billion-dollar stadiums, I should say, are changing the game, and like the Titans are wanting one, and a lot more teams are going to these dome things, and that's fine. But there's just certain places you don't fuck with. And I am not a Bears fan. I have never been a Bears fan. I will never be a Bears fan.
Duh Bears.
But football in Chicago is played outdoors.
Outside. Yeah, I ain't no doubt about that.
I just, oh, God, this breaks my heart.
I'm down with, me too. I'm down with the no dome in Chicago.
But here's the other thing. They're building these stadiums for teams that are not performing, too.
There you go. I can't figure that one out.
I mean, I get that Chicago Bear fans, it's one of the most loyal fan bases in all of sports, not just the NFL. But you got to be.
They got to be getting hungry.
You got to be winning 12 or 13 games a season, getting into the postseason. Now, whether you win Super Bowls or not, that's fine. You at least got to make the postseason to justify this.
Right.
And
I agree. Right now, I don't see that happening.
Kurt, if you had $5 billion,
yeah,
I mean, I can.
What would I do with it?
You know how much? I know what you would do with it. I can't say it on air. We're talking broccoli, folks. We're talking broccoli.
I would help all the. Well, yeah.
You could buy some pretty nifty ginseng hunting tools with $5 billion.
Buy a lot of medicines with that too.
Yeah, broccoli, not broccoli.
Right. Yes, green corn.
Green. Did you call it green corn?
Yes.
Oh God, this guy.
That could be a lucrative business too. You know.
That could
if they would leave it. You know.
That could be
for a little while anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, your license would be so high it'd be crazy.
I don't know. Like, there's all these new stadiums being built over the last few years, and I get it, but like, I don't know. That pisses me off about Chicago.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I don't much care for that. Them kind of places. I mean, they hold it. Yeah. You said it best. Hollow grounds.
That's like, seriously. That's like tearing down Lambeau, and I'm not a Packers fan. Packers fans are some of the most egotistical pricks in the world, but that's like somebody tearing down Lambeau. That's like tearing down Lambeau and building a dome stadium where they're playing in a controlled climate environment in January. I don't want to see that. I want to see like 2007 AFC title game, Tom Coughlin with like his face is windburned and chapped.
Right.
Because they're playing in negative 20-degree weather.
You can see their breath. Yeah, you can see their breath.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
So, I don't know. It's just
was it Chicago with one of the most famous NFL games as far as weather games, the Fog Bowl?
Wasn't it the Fog Bowl? Yeah. Wasn't it Chicago and Philly?
Yeah, Yeah, Randall Cunningham. Yep,
And
Jim Harbaugh, maybe?
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yep. That was a pretty crazy game.
You couldn't even see it from the sidelines.
No.
Can you imagine trying to call that game?
No. you have to have some help somewhere. I mean, I don't know. That's crazy.
Nowadays, they call a game if there's the thunderstorm.
Well, lightning is... Homie don't play with no lightning either, dude. I mean, that's something I don't...
Homie don't play with lightning?
No, I ain't going to give God a chance to strike me down, you know.
I feel like you've been
struck with it. You know.
Kurt, there's somewhere out there, and you can hop in the Google machine. There's somewhere out there back in the early 1900s in Major League Baseball. There was a pitcher.
In the rain, yeah.
There was a pitcher that got struck by lightning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what he did? Like he finished the game.
Oh well, that's what they did back in the 1900s.
And like a week later, he came back and threw a no-hitter.
Well, that's what they did in the 1900s.
He got hit by fucking lightning.
Well, it juiced him up, and he come back and threw a no-hitter. You know. Yeah. After the initial shock wore off.
Wait.
Bad, wasn't it?
Wait, say that again.
After the initial shock wore off, right?
That was a terrible pun. I should have hit this one first.
That was a terrible pun, but I couldn't help it. It slipped out before anyone was having.
That's what she said. It slipped out before
everything. Right.
Not lately, puss. Not lately.
All right, Addie. Well.
I want to. I like I said. I just put down a few, just a very few things.
I got a couple things to add.
Well, you know what?
Mushroom hunting season sucked this year, dude.
Hey, we years ago talked about doing an outdoors episode where we talked about.
I still think we should.
Fishing and hunting and mushroom hunting and ginseng hunting and.
I've got a few things to add to that stuff.
Tell everybody about the 2024 morel season here in Indiana. How'd that go?
Well, in my neck of the woods, where they cut all the fucking trees down, it's going where the shit.
Oh yeah, last time I was out there at the Kelly Sports Multi-Complex, there was many trees no longer standing.
Yeah, 2 great mushroom spots wiped out.
Well, that's heartbreaking. Right. That's heartbreaking.
But it is heartbreaking, and guess what? I had it all out here already.
Did you have the chance to talk mushroom hunting with your boss? If I remember right, your boss, that little feller, he's a big mushroom hunter.
Who's that?
That would be Asher.
Oh yeah, he didn't go this year. He's got bigger fish to fry. He's a supervisor now, you know.
Oh yeah. Has he got? Yeah, he's making that super suck money. He probably got him a woman. Is he all busy all the time?
No. He ain't got a woman. Oh. He got rid of his woman.
Oh.
Good move.
The Washington Redskins are now on the clock. I'm sorry, the Commanders got to be pitifully.
I mean, couldn't you come up with any name with Commanders?
I'm telling you, man, I will die on this hill. Like you had 3 seasons, bro, and the command. I get it. It's DC. I get it. And it's the military, but you had 3 years. They select the quarterback out of LSU. What's his name? It's something. Ain't it Daniel or Daniels or something? I don't know. It's Jaden Daniels.
You know, I'm thinking like something like George Washington. What would be good? Like the Washington Colonels or the Colonials or something.
The Washington Colonels.
Yeah, I don't know.
Washington Rockets.
Besides Commanders.
Washington Rockets. Well, the Houston have the Rockets. Yeah, but we're also in Washington where we shoot rockets at people. For our military, you know.
I mean, I'd rather have been Commandos. Washington Commandos.
Kirk Kelly, everybody.
Commanders come up. I mean, that deserves a wah, wah, wah. I thought Redskins, you know.
The Redskins. Hey, you know what? I'm going to find me an old Redskins hit. Yeah, the Cleveland Guardians. The Cleveland Indians. Yeah.
What about the Blackhawks?
The Chicago will never change. That franchise has been around forever. The NHL
is politically clear. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
I know. Right.
Well, then Florida State's got to change their name from the Seminoles.
Yes.
We could do a whole episode on politically correctness. Kurt,
Oh, yeah, we could.
Kurt would get us canceled right away.
I guarantee you. I mean, it's a freaking name, all right? It don't really mean, I don't know. It's...
You're something, Kurt. You're something.
I'm something, yeah. Oh, by the way, Morrell season sucked around here. Yeah. I heard it was good. In some places.
Yeah.
Where you had trees,
Well,
I found a few. I found more ticks than I did mushrooms.
Yes, the ticks.
Well, I found hundreds of them.
The ticks are everywhere.
Me and my neighbor went several times. Me and Jill across the road. We found a few.
Your neighbor?
Yeah.
Yeah, she
likes mushroom hunt too.
She's a nice lady.
She's pretty good at it. Yes, she is. She's pretty good at it too.
She's a nice lady.
Yep.
The New England Patriots are now on the clock.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Take a wiener.
Kurt, Dusty Baker.
Take him or leave him. I don't know.
We've talked about Dusty Baker before. Kurt, we talk baseball a lot.
He's an ex-Dodger, He's got a championship series, where the World Series with the Dodgers.
Well, we talk baseball more than we talk anything.
Right. What you got on Dusty Baker?
Well, Dusty Baker today has won the 4th Lifetime Achievement Award presented by Baseball Digest. If you remember, shortly before we started this podcast in 2021, Willie Mays won the inaugural year. In 2022, Mr. Dodger himself, the voice of the Dodgers, Vin Scully,
right,
and Joe Torre won it last year.
Joe Torre won it last year?
Yes. Baker retired last year after spending 56 years in the majors as a player, a coach, and a manager. Baker said, quote, "Receiving this award is a tremendous honor. I never thought that I'd be in the class of people that receive this award. I know my parents would be proud of me. This is very special." Baker came in as a teenager with the Braves back in 1968 and played 19 seasons. Of course, as Kurt said, here we go, more World Series that we need to recap. He won the 77 NL Championship Series MVP, finished 4th in the 1980 NL MVP voting before helping the Dodgers win in the 1981 World Series, which you can find you can find that World Series in our archives. We did in 2022. The word for the 1981 Dodgers was what? Fernando
Valenzuela.
Fernando Mania.
So it went rampant.
Yes. But of course, what most people know him for, my generation know him more as a manager. He managed the Giants from 88 to 92.
Right. Did he get a championship there? No.
He also managed the Cubs, the Reds, which I really know him for managing the Reds, the Nationals, and the Astros. Of course, I don't want to talk about the 2022 World Series championship he got with the Astros. Fuck you guys.
Right.
That's heartbreak. We've now lost back-to-back World Series appearances in 2009 and in 2022.
Well, you guys have pulled through. What did you guys do? No, see, how are you guys doing so far?
You know what? I'm glad you asked that because I was going to pull up the standings, and I have them right here. As soon as the page refresh. We had a good series with the Redbirds here.
They suck.
Yeah. You want to know? Okay, we'll go through, and I'll tell you who's in the top and who's in the first of every. In the AL East, the Yankees are on top 7-8 or 7-8. The Tampa Bay Rays and the Toronto Blue Jays are both tied in the basement of the AL East at 13-13, sitting at 500.
Wow.
In the AL Central, the Cleveland Indians. Oh, sorry, the Cleveland Guardians 18-7, and the Chicago White Sox on the south side of Chicago.
Yeah.
The White Sox 3-22.
Ouch.
Ooh, that's bad.
Yeah,
and then
bad.
in the AL West, this is how bad the American League West is. For those that don't remember, the American League West, because I played as the Seattle Mariners on my MLB game forever and a day for numerous seasons. That was always a fun division to play in. For those that may not remember, the AL West is the Seattle Mariners, the Texas Rangers, the Angels, the Oakland Athletics, soon to be the Las Vegas Athletics, I guess.
Yeah.
And the Houston Astros. This is how terrible this division is. The Mariners are on top in the AL West at 13-12. The Rangers are in second at 13-13, sitting at 500. The Los Angeles Angels, or the Anaheim Angels, as I always refer to them, they're 10-15. The Athletics are 9-16, and the Astros in the basement at 7-19. Now,
I think Texas will come out of that West division. No, I think Rangers,
and it only gets worse. You head over to the NL East, the best division in baseball, my division. The Atlanta Braves sitting on top at 17-6. The Phillies at 16-10. The New York Metropolitans 13-11. The Nationals 10-14, and the Miami Marlins 6-20.
Yeah, I'm not surprised there. They just, I don't know, small market.
Now, in the division that everybody around here seems to care about, because most people around here are Cubs, Reds, or Cardinals fans. In the NL Central, the Brewers on top at 16-8. The Cubs one game behind at 16-9. The Cincinnati Redbirds 14-11. Pirates 13-13, and the St. Louis Cardinals currently in the cellar at 11-14.
That's hard on some Cardinal fans. I don't look for them to climb out of that neither, I don't think.
Now, this is interesting because we're going to shift to Kirk Kelly's division here. The NL West is both West divisions in both leagues are not very good right now.
No.
The Los Angeles Dodgers, of course, no surprise on top, but their record is 16-11. The Padres, who I thought was a scary team a couple years ago.
Yeah, I thought they were too.
Sitting at 500 at 14-14. The Arizona D-Bags, they are 12-14, tied with the Giants that are 12-14, and the Colorado Rockies 7-19 in the basement.
Ooh. That'd be a tough place to play there and pitch anyway.
No, but if you hit a home run, good Lord.
Yeah, it's in here.
It is. I mean, yeah.
It's a pitching disadvantage and a hitting advantage. I mean, you about to hit 10 points higher there. I mean,
you know what? When you try to talk baseball to people that don't know anything about baseball, and we've all done that, but when you try to tell them about the differences between a hitter's ballpark and a pitcher's ballpark, if they don't know nothing about baseball, they give you, that's not a real thing. All ballparks are the same. Bullshit.
It's very frustrating, isn't it?
All ballparks are not the same.
No, they're not.
There is a pitcher's park and a hitter's park.
Yeah. And what's crazy is if one field could have the same dimensions as another field and one be a hitter's park and the other not, depending on altitude, just all kinds of different things.
It's the X factors.
I mean, humid air, the ball travels real well, so you're in a dry climate, but it's hot, it probably won't travel as well. There's all kinds of damn things you factor in. Wind, exit velocity.
What do you think about your boy Shohei Ohtani? He apparently there's a lot of shit going on with his manager and money and.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but as far as what on the field, he's pretty dang good.
Did you download the MLB app like I told you to?
No, I haven't done it yet.
You got a new phone. You finally got with the times and actually got a new phone, and you still have yet to download the app.
Yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know. Yeah, it's all, I don't know. You got to make another password and all that bullshit. I don't know.
I'm gonna make you. are you on TikTok? Do you watch TikToks?
No.
That surprises me.
I can get TikToks. I can watch them if someone sends it to me.
What do you mean you can't download TikTok?
I mean, I can if I want to, but I don't want to.
This goes back to one of our first episodes where I'm an analog man.
There you go. That's right. I watch the shit out of YouTube now.
Well, yeah, I send you stuff, but anyways, there really was no purpose for this episode other than, man, let's just fire up the equipment and get it going. I've been busy.
It's dusty.
We need to talk. You know,
two idiots need to talk to sports. Damn it!
Two idiots talking sports. Hashtag tits.
Tits.
So I want to remind everybody that we still get downloads. This month's not been the greatest, but we still get downloads even with us not. And I just been super busy. I would like to get back to an alternate recording schedule again.
Right.
Like maybe sometime here in the next few weeks, I'd like to come over and I want to talk a damn World Series, man.
Yeah, I'll be down.
We need to talk a World Series. We could do another college basketball watch along.
Well, you know how you're always ranking? How we're ranking, you go to the whatever.
The World Series. Yeah.
Let's go find the top 5 and let's do one.
Go find a top 5 World Series?
That they rank, that ranking you get. Ranks,
Well, you know what? Now that you said that, I want to look at something.
Because I want to see how interesting, the top 5 would be.
The problem is that they haven't updated this article, which is okay. This article only goes through 116 World Series, which for those that don't know where that falls, 116 World Series would have been the 2020 World Series.
Oh, we got to update that.
Well, ESPN needs to update it, but now that you said that, I have a composite list. I went out and mapped out episodes for 2022, 2023, and then 2024. We just didn't get there. I guess we'll let the cat out of the bag. I'll run down the top 10 according to ESPN. So, of course, you guys know that this is going to be vintage stuff.
Excuse me.
But number 10 is the 1926 World Series, which featured the Cardinals and the Yankees, and the Cardinals over the Yankees in 7 games.
Okay.
The number 9.
It wasn't even TV then. How do I know this?
Well, I mean, good thing you can find people that captured it, I guess, somewhere.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, so number 9 is the 1947 World Series. Yankees over the Dodgers in 7. Of course, that will be the Brooklyn Dodgers. Number 8.
No TV yet.
Number 8, this one gets me. The 1912 World Series. The Red Sox over the Giants in 8 games. They had a tie.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, bud. Yeah.
And there can't be a tie in baseball.
So, number 7 is the 1952 World Series. The Yankees over the Dodgers in 7. Yeah. You can find footage of that.
Ironically, I just watched Game 7 of that World Series not too long ago.
Of the 1952?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Yeah, that was that dealt with Joe Black, who came up from the Negro Leagues, who won Rookie of the Year. That's a great baseball story.
Dude, you know what's crazy? They didn't wear helmets when they batted.
What?
They didn't even wear helmets back then when they bat. Or, they go to bat. They just wore their infielders caps.
Can you imagine getting hit in the? I would not get in the batter's box without a helmet on.
Yeah, right. Especially, exactly with like Don Gibson throwing at you or something, or whatever your name was.
Bob Gibson.
Bob Gibson, yeah.
Oh God, no!
They didn't wear helmets then either. That wasn't implemented until like 1970, was it?
So that's a good question, Kurt. That's a good question.
Yeah, we'll figure out one.
Hey, we did a vintage World Series in the '60s. We could do a vintage one too. But anyways, back to what ESPN said in 2020 was ranking every World Series from first to last. Number 6 is an episode that when Kurt and I first started laying down the show 3 years ago, we said we were going to cover eventually because it dealt with 9/11. That was the 2001 World Series, the Diamondbacks over the Yankees in 7.
Yeah.
Number five is another World Series that Kurt and I wanted to cover. One of the best modern World Series I've ever watched. I watched 6 games of that 7-game series. 2011 Cardinals over the Texas Rangers.
Oh, damn good series.
Damn good series. Number 4 is, a lot of people said this can make, a lot of people say this is the greatest World Series they've ever seen. This one's subjective. But number 4, the surprising miracle, the 1986 World Series, the Mets over the Red Sox.
The Bill Buckner collapse.
Because this was I love the opening sentence here. One of the measures we considered was comeback percentage, the lowest likelihood of winning the eventual winner reached over the course of the series. Nobody had the greatest comeback percentage than the 86 Mets.
The Mets had no business beating that Boston Red Sox team, I'll just tell you that.
Of course, one word comes to mind about that 86, and you know what I'm going to say.
What's that?
Bill Buckner.
Bill Buckner, yeah.
Bill Buckner.
Flop. Rock solid baseball player. But he choked.
These the next 2, one of them we've covered. Okay, well, hang on. What ESPN said in October of 2020 after the COVID World Series was the 3rd greatest World Series game of all time was 1924, the Senators over the Giants in 7 games.
Okay.
Number 2, Kurt and I covered in the summer or early fall of 2021. It was one of our first 10 to 12 episodes. All I got to say is Jack Morris, Kirby Puckett, the 1991 Twins over the Braves.
Yeah.
Charlie, we did this. Charlie on the back end of his career was an Atlanta Brave at that point.
Yep.
And then the greatest World Series, and I don't even think I'm going to argue with Kurt on this, and I don't think Kurt's going to argue with me. Kurt would have been about a 5-year-old boy. I was about 12 years away from being thought of. I was still in tadpole form. I don't even know if my dad had. My dad was 8. I don't even know if my dad had tadpoles yet.
Oh gosh.
I don't know if you have tadpoles.
That's a good one, dude.
I don't even know if my dad had tadpoles when he was 8. But
you're a little seaman, huh?
Yeah. The number 1 ranked World Series of all time, 1975, the Cincinnati Redbirds,
the Big Red Machine
over the Boston Red Sox, and Carlton Fisk.
Yep, Fisk.
Carlton Fisk.
There have been a lot of. There have been a Freddie Lynn on that team.
Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench would have been a Red. I mean, I was about to name the whole Reds infield. It would be Tony Perez, Joe Morgan.
Go for it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
P. Rose at third. Yeah, I think he had George Foster in left. King Griffey Sr. in center. And then right, let me think about that. Cesar Geronimo. And the catcher was Johnny Bench. Thank you.
Johnny Bench.
I think the right field, I'm not sure on it, but I think it was Cesar Geronimo that year.
So,
what do you think about that?
And just by you know what, just by comparison, for shits and giggles, because we've done a lot on this show, but we've made our bread and butter just doing World Series recaps. We've covered more baseball on this show than anything. So, just for comparison, we will rank the 10 worst World Series.
Okay.
So, starting at 116th, this should be no surprise, the 1919 World Series, which was the Reds over the White Sox. Of course, that would be the Black Sox.
Famous,
the rigged game. In 1989, Kurt and I have not covered this, but I want to just because of how atrocious it was.
It was a sleeper.
No. That one we've already covered. That was good. But this one was the year before, the 89 A's and Giants.
Yeah, that was 4 games.
Yeah, that was the game that also
earthquake.
The earthquake. The Loma Prieta earthquake.
Yes. Al Michaels didn't know what the shit was going on.
The 8th worst ranked World Series, 2007, the Red Sox over the Rockies in 4 games. The 113th ranked World Series, or 7th worst ranked World Series, 1937, Yankees over the Giants in 5 games. I kind of argue with this because I thought this series was better than what I remembered it for, but apparently not. Coming in ranked at 112th out of 116 at the time. The sixth worst World Series was 2012. The San Francisco Giants over the Detroit Tigers. Of course, that was during Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer's heyday. I think you had Miguel Cabrera then still. That was during that really weird period where
Maglio Ordonez.
That was during that really weird period where the Giants won World Series in alternating years. They won it in 2010, 2012. They won it in 2014. This was when they had that awesome rotation. They had Timmy Lincoln. They had Jeremy Alfelt. You had the Beard, Brian Wilson. And, of course, you had Madison Bumgarner.
Right.
Anyways, the fifth ranked worst World Series of all time, the 1939 World Series, the Yankees over the Reds in 4 games. That was the infamous game with Joe DiMaggio's single that played out the game. This next one, the fourth worst ranked World Series, if you're ranking them in back order, at 100, coming in at 110, and I find big fucking fault with this. The 2008 World Series, the Philadelphia Phillies over the Tampa Bay Rays in Game 5. This was what was remembered. What most of you that don't know anything about this game, you'll remember. This was Game 3 that started an hour and a half late and lasted until almost 3 o'clock in the morning East Coast time. Then Game 5 was interrupted by rain and a snow, which ended up with a 2-day weather delay in the 6th inning. The next one, this 1976 World Series, Red Sox over the Yankees in 4. And I love this. This is where this is the famous quote. I'd like to sweep so this team can be rated with the great teams where it belongs, is what Sparky Anderson said, and of course it worked. This was also the series where Billy Martin got ejected for chucking the ball at the umpire.
Billy Martin was something else, man.
Coming in at 108th was the 1966 World Series, Baltimore Orioles over the Dodgers in 4 games. We got 2 more. Coming in at 107th was the 1905 World Series, the Giants over the A's in 5 games. And then coming in, finishing out, of course, I actually did that backwards. We should have went backwards and then down. But anyways, 1920 World Series, the Indians over the Brooklyn Robins.
What?
7 games in best of 9 format.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the one right below that was our best World Series recap episode we've done today. Coming in at 105th was the 1990 World Series, Reds over the A's, which, everybody's like, it was a sweep. Yeah, for the other team. You damn right it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
the Bash brothers didn't even show up to play.
Nope. Joe Oliver and company whipped us. And the Nasty Boys.
And I'd like to point out again,
Lou Piniella was coach of that team, wasn't he?
Sweet Lou,
yeah.
Against Tony La Russa.
Tony La Russa, yeah.
And I'd like to point out again, as I did, and you can find this episode back in, if you search our archives, I don't remember what number it is, but just go back to September of 2022. Or August of 2022, one of those two. That is where you'll find the 1990s World Series recap. I'd like to point out again, just like I said, you're in Game 4. It's win or go home. You're struggling. You leave Dave Stewart out on the mound forever and a day.
Yeah, because he's been your workhorse all year.
He's been a workhorse, but you have a hired gun sitting in the bullpen.
Yep.
With Dennis Eckersley. He was a .6 something ERA.
Yeah.
His 3-year postseason average put him just lights out.
Unhittable.
Yeah, you've got him in the bullpen.
Kurt Gibson, you got a bum leg,
You've got him right there in the bullpen, He's a bulldog. Yeah. He's a fighter. He's untouchable. Nobody can fuck with him.
Right.
And you just you continue to leave Dave Stewart out there.
Yeah. Yeah, you got one there.
So
the rest is history.
That was good. I almost want to listen to that episode. I don't really listen to our episodes because it's like I was there. I seen it in real time. Right. But that's such a good World Series episode.
Yes, it was.
Damn it, Kurt! I missed talking
we went
baseball.
In depth with that one, didn't we?
We did. That was one of the best. You know what? Let me just let me look.
Well, just because, I mean, the magnitude of this, and it was a sweep. Nobody was expecting anything like that.
Everybody was expecting a sweep, though.
The other way, yeah.
The other way.
Yeah.
I would like to. I want to look at our episodes a minute.
All right.
And let's just see. So let's go back. We're going back to September or August of 2022. Oh, there's the Jimmy Hoffa episode. I love Jimmy Hoffa. That was fucking fun.
Yeah.
So, here we go. Sweep Dreams and Dynasty instead of Dynasty. August 27th of 2022, we released that.
Yeah.
Rob Dibble.
Yeah.
Randy Myers.
Yep.
And who was the other one?
Yeah, Norm Charlton was.
Yes, Norm Charlton. The Nasty Boys.
Yes. And he was exactly what he had. Jose Rio.
Yes.
He was a Cy Young winner that year, wasn't he?
Now, didn't we talk about this? Damn it. Yes. Yeah, maybe. This was a great episode. I highly recommend anybody that's like kind of new to the show.
And like baseball.
And like baseball. We've had several World Series recasts, but like that one's probably my favorite. Well, that one and our 5th or 6th episode, the 85 World Series, Dinkinger.
I think, yes, was it where I was the interim
do what?
Commissioner.
Oh, that was our 3rd episode. Commissioner Kelly.
Yeah, I thought that
turning
was
around. They listened to us. The MLB has still not sent us any money because we gave them the idea for the pitch clock. We gave them the idea for the pitch clock in May of 2021, and they still have not sent us our money.
Well, we'll be expecting a royalty check.
We will be suing Major League Baseball.
Yes.
You know what? I applied for a job on MLB.com, and they never did answer me back.
What?
Oh, I know, right? Like, you know how cool it'd be to say I work for Major League Baseball?
I think you'd be good at calling a game.
Is it because I'm on the radio, Kurt? Because I got...
Well, I mean, you got that kind of voice, you know?
All right, watch this. Let's try this. I got that. Hey, me having a job in TV and radio is directly the result of you and I having the podcast. Now, the other podcast where I talk about stuff, the second podcast is kind of what really put me on the map, but this is where it's at. So here we go. Let me get Kelly up to the plate now. 3 for 4 tonight, averaging 335 on the season. He's had 6 home runs in his last 11 games. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from who's pitching to you? Saberhagen. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Saberhagen. Cut fastball in there for ball 1. Now look at Kelly. Kelly there, yeah. Kelly stepping out of the box. This is just a tremendous talent. You know, he is second in the AL right now in home runs. Just a tremendous talent. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss by Kelly. Boy, he ripped that. If he would have got a hold of that, that would have been a souvenir.
Yeah, absolutely.
Saberhagen. Look at Kelly. Kelly's mouthing something to Saberhagen. What did he say?
Bring that shit in here again, I think is what he said. Wait a minute. He said it on here.
Here it comes. Saberhagen with the toss. Here comes his fastball. Kelly hits it. That's going to be a trot around the bases.
There you go. I'm telling you, dude.
This is where you're going to get mad at me. A trot around the bases. And Kelly and the New York Yankees on top of the Los Angeles Dodgers 5-0.
Oh, nice. Yes, nice.
You know, rumor has it the Yankees drafted him just to piss off the Dodgers because he said, I'm not playing anywhere but Los Angeles.
Oh, shit.
Fun fact. I got a fun fact for you.
All right.
So I don't have a new baseball game for the new Xbox yet.
Yeah.
I don't have one. So I still have the old Xbox 360 that I bought like fucking 12 years ago.
Okay.
And I dusted off MLB 2K13. And what I like to do is I like to have fun. I pick different franchises. Right now, the game has been reset. Right now, we are all in our rookie year playing for the Baltimore Orioles. So we're playing in the AL East.
Okay.
Because I wanted to pick a team with a black alternate outfit. So, Kurt Kelly, what position do you think you're number 71 on your jersey?
Okay.
But what position do you think I have put you on? Obviously, you know I'm the pitcher because that's me.
Well, I'm either short or third.
You are shortstop, Kurt Kelly.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Shortstop. Right. However, you are talented enough. You can play every position on the field. You are a great universal utility player.
And to be honest, in my career, I played every position on the infield in my high school baseball career.
And here's where you're
not playing the outfield.
Here's where you're really going to get mad. You just went to the 45-day DL.
Oh,
you broke your wrist. The problem was you were hitting too many dingers. You're leading the team in home runs right now.
And someone hit me with a pitch, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, because I had a little bat flip going on when I hit a home run.
That's legitimately what happened. The guy came inside, hit you on the hand, and you went down at the home plate and you broke your wrist.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure
I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking.
Well, I hadn't seen it coming,
But you're leading the team right now. We're only in the month of May, but you've already hit like 27 home runs.
Holy shit. I
may have souped your character up to a 99 overall.
And you're 16-0 right now with a 0 point.
No, you're close. You're close.
Okay.
I am leading in innings pitched. I've been pitching complete games. I've thrown 2 no-hitters. I've only given up 2 walks. I've given up only 25 hits, no home runs. I am at a .24 ERA, and I am like 11-0. I may have also souped myself up to 99 overall. Well, it's my house. It's my game. It's my rules.
There you go. Right on. Yeah. Rock on, dude.
Yeah, I'm chasing the 370-something strikeout season record from Nolan Ryan.
Well, I'm loving playing defense when you're pitching.
Here we go. Atkins up and 3 down. All
I got to do is stand there and look pretty short.
That's pretty much what it is.
Right.
Let's be honest to everybody listening.
We're going to win the World Series, dude. I can just tell you right now.
Everybody that's listening that plays sports games, when you all make yourself 99 overalls. Don't even fuck with me. You all do it. Every one of you out there does it. Unless you're playing in a career mode where you can't do that and you have to work to build your stats. If it's just a regular franchise mode, everybody cheats.
Yes, it's a video game. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, and it's fun seeing me throw like 20-something strikeouts, and maybe I don't get the no-hitter, but you know what? There's been a lot of games where I've only had a one-hitter. So
right, that's funny. You guys,
I'm leading the league in shutouts. I've had like 8 of my games have been shutouts.
I can't believe I got a broken wrist.
And you got a broken wrist.
Hit by pitch.
I swear to God, this should have been called 2 Idiots Talking Sports. #tits.
I agree.
When I was creating names and I was sitting back there at my table. And you were over there and saw, and I came running to you. I'm like, I've got it, steel toes and scoreboard. And you're like, what the fuck, steel toes and scoreboard? You're like, all right, I like it. It sounds cool. We missed the boat. #tits.
Tits.
The Tits podcast. If I ever start another podcast about sports, I'm going to call that one Tits.
Right. Well, I guarantee you we get more downloads.
We would.
We got downloads just on the name alone,
Everybody's like, where's the boobs at? Wow, they lied to me.
Well, we got some boobs here. I don't know about boobs.
I do have moobs.
I do so boobs.
But yes, we need to get together soon. I'm kind of busy the next couple of weeks, but we'll make time. Damn it, I guess I could always reach out to you and be like, hey, you want to do a mini episode tonight? Hey, you want to do a mini episode tonight? You know, fun fact.
I'll do one.
If we really wanted to, we've knocked out a Super Bowl episode in an hour and a half before, which is about the same time we usually do the minis. So
right.
We need to talk some baseball. I've missed baseball. You know what we're going to do this year?
What's that?
I think for those of you that don't know, Kurt Kelly is a homebody.
Yeah, I am.
Kurt is he's a bit of a recluse. He doesn't like to go outside when the sun's shining. That's a lie.
You can't hardly because there's too many road pirates out there.
We ought to go watch a baseball game. We ought to go see a Du Bois County Bombers game.
Thing.
We ought to go to a baseball game.
And do the podcast there.
We could set up shop, interview some of the Du Bois County Bombers.
You can practice your play-by-play, huh?
I probably could.
And you're going to try out for the announcer like the Reds here for long, right?
I was told not that long ago that the reason I'm doing so good at the radio, and I'm like, well, it's just I have a loud voice, and I know from having the podcast, I know the experience of like where microphone placement needs to be, where my voice needs to be, what kind of cadence I need to have. I was like, really, when everybody's telling me I'm doing a good job, I'm like, it's just because I'm loud and my voice projects. And they're like, no, you've got personality. You might be a complete fucking idiot, but you've got personality. Like that's what sells in radio is personality. So
yes, absolutely.
It's like no pressure. You know, I pot up the mic at work, and I'm like only like 100,000 people can hear me. That's okay. It's not a big deal or anything.
I have to be honest with you. I was a little nervous when we went to the Two Beers podcast. You
know what? I need to talk to them guys because we were supposed to go see them all the time.
I know,
and I need to reach out, and we need to make a trip up there. And what really is you just want another one of them fried bologna and cheese sandwiches.
Well, yeah, maybe that's pretty good.
That was pretty good. I tell you what, we had a blast when we went up there.
Yeah, it was fun.
Kurt was so nervous at first, and then we just got into it. We did an episode with After Two Beers podcast.
I mean, once you and
Dutch started talking wrestling.
I mean,
I want to peel back the curtain for everybody that does not remember.
I think I would throw in every once in a while. You guys are homers. I think that's about all. You guys start talking wrestling. Yeah,
I'm going to peel back the curtain for homers. I'm going to peel back the curtain for everybody that may not remember. We talked about this. Immediately after that, we did the Richmond recap. Was the title of the episode where we talked about Kurt went outside to smoke a cigarette, and I came out. I was still smoking then. I came out and said, Kurt, I guess we're going to record with them too. Or they're going to record with us. And he's like, oh, okay. He goes, do you need to unlock your van and get your equipment? I said, no, we're going to use their equipment because they're in a professional studio. And he goes, well, what are we going to talk about? I looked at Kurt. I said, I don't know. I said, I ain't really got nothing planned. He goes, well, what are we going to do? I'm like, well, what's the one thing I don't need any notes for? And Kurt Kelly looked at me and he goes, fuck. And he hung his head. He just dropped his head and his shoulders. He's like, I'm not lying to everybody listening. I was like, well, Kurt, what's the one thing I don't need notes for? And he dropped his head. He's like, fuck. Because he knew he was in for wrestling talk.
Wrestling. Yeah. And I'm not as up to date, as on the wrestling.
I wish you guys could have seen his face. It was. Kurt,
I will say, I've been watching a lot of Boss Rutan videos.
Boss Rutan, a.k.a. El Guapo.
Yeah, he was a badass, dude.
Boss Rutan's a bad son of a bitch. And I'll tell you right now.
This little thing he done at the end after he won his fight, where you do that little chop, I don't know, you spread his legs, kick him in the air or whatever. Yeah, he's a badass.
I tell you,
what did you call it? El Guapo?
El Guapo, Boss Rutan.
El Guapo, Boss Rutan.
Boss Rutan, a.k.a. El Guapo.
I watched a lot of his fights. That was back when he hit guys with slaps. He slapped a guy. He didn't really punch him. Oh, what about? Have you seen anything about just off the path or everything? Have you watched the new Dana White fight thing where they slap each other?
I've seen it, man. Some of them fucking people get
how fucking retarded is that?
Shit slapped out of them.
Yeah.
Like it hurts me to watch.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of retardedness
Can you imagine
is
if you go up there and you forgot your mouthpiece? You're literally losing a tooth.
Oh, yeah. They slow-mo it down on impact, on the camera, and it's like, whoa. Holy shit. But I just wondered if you'd seen anything like that yet. It's pretty retarded, I think.
I've seen it. Speaking of
I mean, I'll watch it just for that factor, though. I mean, just for the silliness. But
speaking of stuff like that, so in 2022, we did a lot of boxing coverage. Now, I did a lot of mini episodes on my own where I just threw in my earbuds and used the recorder on the phone. We did a lot of boxing and some MMA, and we don't do much of that anymore. We need to, or I need to. Yeah. I'm just lazy, but I do like MMA just as much as I love combat sports, man. Professional wrestling is a combat sport, MMA, boxing.
I like the MMA, yes, for sure.
And Kurt's talking about old school pride fighting and Boss Root, and I'm going to tell you right now, I loved pride fighting championships just as much as I loved UFC. And to give you an example of this, one of my all-time favorite MMA guys was Mirko Krokop. Well, yes, too, but Mirko Krokop, his man would put you to sleep with his fucking feet because he had that Muay Thai kickboxing background.
Muay Thai, that's some badass shit.
Another guy I liked because he made you feel like you could step in the ring or you could step in the octagon was Roy Big Country Nelson.
Hey, man, brother.
Because that gut hung out like he definitely had a dicky do. But
I'm going to tell you what, you got in front of that right hand or either hand.
He put you to sleep.
Heavy hands.
So,
and he was agile too. I mean,
when I was a kid, I used to think that there was no way UFC could be real. And I thought that forever. Right. But as I got older, I was like, MMA is not exactly in on the fix like wrestling is.
Right.
And that was proven because I watched the Iceman Chuck Liddell beat the shit out of Tito Ortiz like 3 different times.
Oh, yeah.
And just mollywopped him.
Chuck Liddell was a badass.
Chuck Liddell was a bad man.
Dude, his story is pretty awesome, really.
The Iceman, Chuck Liddell.
Yeah. He kind of put the UFC right there on the map, kind of.
He did. He was definitely one of the. Yes, Kurt, you're right. He definitely one of the ones. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, it all started out with Shamrock and Hoist Gracie and all them guys, but it really got big when Liddell and them guys come along. Tito Ortiz.
Absolutely.
I was watching a lot of those fights. Forrest Griffin.
So that's what killed boxing. Like I said it in 2022 when we were doing a lot of boxing coverage, is that boxing's often forgot about nowadays because MMA killed it, and in particular the UFC side of MMA killed it. Because
you gotta love it. I mean, it's a combat sport and it's mixed martial arts. Anything goes,
that Ultimate Fighter, the very first season, and just like you're talking about, that fight between Forrest Griffin and Stephan Bonnar is what changed that sport.
Yes, what a fight!
Yeah, so
awesome fight. Yeah, it did change the sport for sure.
It did. Kurt, what have we had? We've had the first 2 picks have been quarterbacks. The first 3 picks were quarterbacks. Marvin Harrison Jr. from the Ohio State University is a Arizona Cardinal.
Okay.
We had an offensive tackle taken to the Chargers. We've had a wide receiver taken to the New York Football Giants, an offensive tackle taken to the Tennessee Titans, a quarterback taken to the Atlanta Falcons, another first-round pick for the Chicago Bears, a wide receiver to go along with their new toy they got.
The Bears.
Oh, fun fact. So, I've always been a huge Joe Flacco and Matt Ryan guy. I've always both them guys. I've been huge supporters.
I like Matty Ice, but I'm not much of a Flacco, man.
Joe Flacco, 18th overall in the 2008 NFL draft out of Division I or Division II Delaware State. Matt Ryan, 3rd overall in 2008 out of Boston College. Huge fan of both of those guys. Been big supporters of both their careers. Matt Ryan signed a one-day contract yesterday or earlier this week with the Atlanta Falcons to retire as an Atlanta Falcon. He spent his entire career in Atlanta except for the lone season in Indianapolis. Should have had a Super Bowl ring. Should have had a Super Bowl ring. Didn't exactly happen. Brady in the 28-3 game, but also they just sometimes couldn't put the pieces around him. Talk about football IQ.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan, one of the highest football IQs I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
Just a pure one of the last of a dying breed, because we're getting less and less of these pure pocket quarterbacks.
Yep.
And they were coming in towards the end of that when that stuff started going away in 2008. Should have had a Super Bowl ring. I think he officially retired as the Falcons' all-time quarterback. And this is to think. This is the team that originally had Brett Favre and let him walk.
Right.
This is the team that had Brett Favre and sent his ass to Wisconsin.
The gunslinger, the old outlaw. Yeah.
I love Brett Favre.
I did too. He's all right.
Brett Favre.
I like him for his moxie and his toughness, you know.
He's an all right guy when he's not sending unsolicited dick pics to people. Right. All right, Hattie. Well, we'll go ahead and put a stop to it there. But I'll tell you what, man, I'll be in touch. We'll do another mini, and here in a couple weeks or something, we'll work something out, and I'll come hang out, and we'll do a World Series recap. You know what? We won't do an anniversary series. We'll just jump to the front of the line. We'll go ahead and revisit that 2011 World Series.
All right.
Cardinals and Rangers. Good. Man, I watched 6 of those 7 games. David Freese. That's what got David Freese and Pujols those big contracts.
Yep.
Because the next year, the very next season, Pujols shipped out to Anaheim with that $200 million contract or $300 million, whatever it was.
And David Freese was clutch.
He was, but then he disappeared. I mean, when he got his money, he disappeared.
Yep, that happens to a lot of them, it seems like.
You think they ought to pay that money back for robbery? I think they ought to be charged for robbery.
I think you should. Give it half back.
Commissioner Kelly, this just breaking sports news, fans. Breaking news. Commissioner Kelly of Major League Baseball has announced players will need to return money if they do not deliver.
That's right.
Kurt says
if you don't perform,
you're playing a kid's game for a living. You can live on a $50,000 a year salary.
Absolutely. Come on.
How different would sports be if they got paid like we get paid? Oh, here's $400 a week. Here's $500 a week. Just make it. How different would sports be?
Well, I think you would see the love of the game a lot more. Just for the love of the game. I mean,
we could talk about this for hours. Like, nothing pisses me off more than seeing all these college basketball kids jump to the NBA after 1 year. At least in college
now.
At least in college football, they make them wait until they're at least juniors. At least they get 2 or 3 seasons.
They should in all sports, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Anyways.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry, bro.
All right, bro.
I ain't had no supper yet.
All right, bro. Well, we'll holler at you later, okay?
Yeah, get back with me. We'll do another minute here for them.
Absolutely. I'll talk to you later, bro.
Peace out.
I miss that dude. I worked with that dude for 2.5 years. I miss working with him. He'd always come and help us or help me at work. We just talk sports all day, man. That's how Steel Toes and Scoreboards was born. I'll give you a brief little rundown here for people that might be new to the show or people that might have forgot how this all got started. I never really listened to podcasts. I mean, I'll make this short as I can. I never really listened to podcasts. And then we all went into lockdown. And Kurt and I were in lockdown for like 3 weeks. And I had nothing to do. I was dating this girl at the time. And I hung out. I spent most of my quarantine at her place down in Newburgh. And she was working from home. She has a fantastic job. So she was working from home. So I had nothing to do all day. I'd put in earbuds, listen to a podcast. Go outside, and we did some landscaping at her place, put my earbuds in, listen to a podcast. And then I was like, you know what? I want to start a podcast. I originally just wanted to talk about wrestling. Well, then Kurt and I, had met a couple months before COVID happened, I started working over there with him, and we just got talking about sports, and then we got talking about music, and then we got talking about cars and mushroom hunting and fishing and just everything. And I was like, man, this would be good for a podcast. And then he's like, oh, yeah, what's a podcast? Which is, if you follow my other show about Freemasonry, that's the number one thing we get from the older generation is what's a podcast. But I started explaining to me like, oh, man, that'd be fun. And then I kept thinking about it, and I said, you know what? I said, I'm gonna save up some money, and I'm going to do this. And he thought about it, and he come into work next day. He goes, you get the equipment, I'll go in half. And Steel Toes and Scoreboards was born. And it's because of Kurt Kelly and him pushing me to do this that I have my job at TV and radio now. It's also because of Kurt Kelly that I have this equipment. I'm able to do my other show, that other Masonic podcast. That's what it's called, that other Masonic podcast. And it's put me on the map in Freemasonry. And both these shows and the amount of downloads and the traction they get and the poise and moxie behind the mic is what has me working my dream job now in TV and radio. So nice little sappy ending to tie it up. But all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. This has been a wonderful. It's so good to talk to Kurt again. I've just been so busy with work. And people ask, which amazes me. We only average maybe 30, 40, 50 downloads a month on this show. My other show averages, anywhere from 400 to 500 to 600 downloads a month. But it still amazes me that people still ask, hey, man, where's content been at on this show? So it's coming, hopefully. And, it was good to talk to Kurt tonight. I had a lot of fun. This has been an episode of Steel Toes and Scoreboards podcast. I'm Jared Atkins, and we will see you guys next time.